the mean and the median will be equal. Okay? So if the mean and the median are equal, then the data set is said to be symmetric. Right? If the mean is greater than the median, then we say the data set is skewed to which side? To the right, or it is positively skewed. If X bar is greater than Q2, I hope you are aware that the median is denoted by Q2. We did that in grade 10. So if we have got that, then this is positive skewness, or skewed to the right. Okay? If X bar is less than the median, then the data set is said to be negatively skewed, or is skewed to the left. Alright? Now, in that case, you can draw a box and whisker. For symmetric, the distance between Q1 and Q2 will be equal to Q2 and Q3. I hope you remember your box and whisker. So this is the minimum, that's the maximum. This will be Q2, that will be Q3, this will be Q1. You did that in grade 10. You did that in grade 10, yes, a box and whisker. But when you draw a box and whisker, right? Can I have your attention? Hey, can I have your attention? Right? This point here, that's the minimum value of the data set. This one here, it will be the maximum. This one here is the median, Q2. This one will be your Q1, the first pattern. Then that one will be your third pattern, or your upper pattern, which is, in actual fact, Q3 is the median of the second half of the data set. Q1 is the median of the first half of the data set. Q2 is the median of the full data set. Right? You did that in grade 10. Right? So I'm going to talk later about the histogram. Right? I think I'll talk about that today in the afternoon, a frequency polygon, and I need to talk about a new concept, which is the cumulative distribution curve. Sorry, the order later on. Right? So the histogram, you have done it before in grade 10. That's not new. Frequency polygons, we did in grade 10. That's not new. Right? So in a nutshell, the new concepts here are the symmetry and the skewness of a data set. We use the mean and the median to determine the skewness of a data set. If the mean and the median are equal, it means the data set is symmetric. If the mean is greater than the median, then the data set is said to be skewed to the right, or is positively skewed. If the mean is less than the median, then it is negatively skewed, so the data set is skewed to the left. Okay? When you draw what's called a distribution, which is a graph, it will look like this. For symmetric, you have a bell shape. Now, for skewed to the left, or rather skewed to the right, this one here, it means that the turning point moves slightly to your left. And here, the turning point moves slightly to the right, or skewed to the left. Right? Then, so these are some of the definitions that you need to remember when you are answering questions on statistics. And from my experience, most learners, they enter the examination, they have no clue about what this is about. And then the first question, they get stuck.
But they also have a definition.
No. They will ask you questions, but you need to know what they are talking about. If you see the data is symmetric, you need to know what that means. If it's positively skewed, you need to know what that means. If it's negatively skewed, you need to know what that means. Right? All right. I'll send you the video. All right. Then the other aspect which is important are outliers. The other aspect are outliers. Now, I'm sure you have heard about outliers in grade 10, in grade 9. right? Now, an outlier is just an extreme value. Like, for example, in the Joule control test, right? Joule control test for this class, his mark was an outlier, right? For this class, it was an outlier, right? Now, what you need to know is that an outlier is an extreme value. It can be too small or too big. Okay? So they are both ends of the spectrum. Now, sometimes when you are doing data analysis, you may need to know if there is a value that's too extreme. That value, if there is a value which is an outlier, it means something is wrong somewhere, right? Something is wrong somewhere. Either the collection of that data, there was a mistake for that specific value, or is due to other external factors. Right now, you can identify an outlier by using a set of formulae. Now, this is very important because you might get a question asking you to identify an outlier. We use this formula. First, determine your interquartile range, IQR. Remember, the interquartile range is equal to Q3 minus Q1. That's the first thing, right? So, find your interquartile range. Determine, obviously, you must determine Q1 and Q3. Then, to determine a value which is small, but it is an outlier, you have to subtract 1,5 times IQR from Q1. If a value is less than this value here, it will be Q1 minus 1,5 times IQR. If it is less than this value, then it's an outlier. Also, if it's more than Q3 minus, or rather plus, 1,5 times IQR, it means that it's an outlier. Either if it is less than this, or if it is more than Q3 plus 1,5 times IQR. Okay? We can try to do it for the example that I had there. We can determine outliers. Yes? What?
It's
Anyone?
not taken.
Okay, well,
No. You have to determine it yourself. Well, to determine Q3.
Please note there's somebody that's still on front office. Please, can you log off now?
Okay, let's use the data set that we have. Okay, we already have the data set. The good thing is, can you sit straight? Sit straight. We already have a data set, right? And your calculator can determine Q1 for you, Q2 for you, Q3 for you. Let's do it, right? So we can do that calculation. So you go to, let me clear that. Go to Shift, then 1. You see where it says min max there. That way you can identify your Q1, Q3, so on. So you press number 6. Right? Now this calculator, unfortunately, it is not as advanced. But is there anybody who has got a calculator which is more?
yeah.
No, this one is not advanced. You're supposed to sell that in before all these calculators, listen, I told you that these calculators are not for someone in the These calculators are not for someone in the
He said so.
Can I have your attention? Can I have your attention? Can I have your attention? Yes. If you are very serious about this subject, you need to take me serious when I talk about the calculator. Right? The calculators that you got, right? They are old versions.